Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about why I chose PA over MD. So I'm going to talk about the requirements for each, what it's like to actually work as each based on my personal experience, and what ultimately led me to make my personal choice to become a physician assistant. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Sutra and I am a second-year physician assistant student. So a little disclaimer before I start, I'm doing this video for educational purposes because this is one of my most asked questions. I get a lot of people asking me, why did I decide to be a PA and not a medical doctor? Everything in this video is my personal opinion and my interpretation of both careers. I'm doing this to hopefully help guide you guys and make your own personal decision, but don't take anything I say as law. Again, this is just what I've seen and the choices that I feel like fit me best. I do want to start off by saying when I first started deciding like what is it that I want to do with my life, like what kind of career I want to go into, I originally wanted to be a medical doctor because I was like, okay, I'm getting straight A's, like, you know, you're doing good in school, and then you're like, what do I do? It seems like the normal trajectory is to be a doctor. I wasn't aware of anything else that was out there. Like, I knew nursing was a possibility, but I just didn't want to be a nurse. All I knew was that I was a straight A student and I was smart, and it seems like everyone that's smart like goes on to be a doctor. So I was like, I guess that's what I'm supposed to do. I went the pre-med route. I took the courses, and then as I was doing that though, I was very unhappy with like my decision that I made in my career choice. I didn't realize why I wasn't happy, but I just knew that I didn't have like the full passion that it takes to be a medical doctor, but I was still going through the motions. I was like, okay, cool, you know, like I'm gonna do this. Halfway through undergrad, I learned about the PA profession, so I decided to do my own personal research. And through my research, I decided that I'm gonna be pre-PA, and honestly, it's the best decision that I've made for myself, and we're gonna get into why that is. So first, I wanna talk about the requirements for being a PA versus a doctor, and I'm gonna split it by similarities, and then we'll talk about the differences after. So for the similarities, for both PA school and medical school, you have to have an undergraduate degree. So you do need a bachelor's, and for both, it can be a bachelor's in anything as long as you take the required classes that are needed to get into each respective school. So talking about the classes are similar for both programs. You have to take a lot of science classes, biology, chemistry, all of those like really science heavy courses, and you do need to have a good GPA to get into both programs. I would say a GPA of 3.5 and higher is the goal that you're trying to meet for MD and PA. After the classes, you also have to get involved in your school, so you have to do extracurricular activities for both programs because they want to see that you are a well-rounded student. And you also have to write a personal statement, so your essay on why you want to go into each school. And you also have to have letters of recommendation. So I know for PA school, you need 3 letters of recommendation. I'm not sure for the MD program, but I would imagine it's about the same. And for PA specifically, the schools that I applied to, you needed to have at least 1 letter be from a professor from your major. So next we're going to talk about the differences between the two schools. So for the MD program, you have to take the MCAT to get into the school, so that's like their admission exam, and MD school is 4 years. So that's 4 years to get your Doctor of Medicine, and then after that it's 3 to 6 additional years for residency based on the kind of specialty that you choose to go into. For PA school, you have to take the GRE to get in, and some schools are requiring that you take the PA CAT as well. A lot more schools are requiring it now, but when I was applying, I applied in 2021, I believe, the school I chose to apply to didn't have the PA CAT, but it was starting to be rolled into the application process. And you also have to have patient care hours. So I would say a rule of thumb is to try to have at least 2,000 patient care hours, which equates to about a year of work. And PA school is 2.5 years, which is a lot shorter than medical school. And you also have the option to do 1 year of residency, but it's not a requirement. most PAs do not choose to go into residency, but for more competitive programs like cardiothoracic surgery, it is recommended to do a residency, but again, you do not have to if you do not want to. At the end of PA school, you get a master's in physician assistant studies. So that is a difference between ND program and PA program. The ND program is a doctorate, so at the end of it, you will be addressed as a doctor, and the PA program is a master's, so you cannot be addressed as a doctor. You will just be what your name is, the PA. So in the end, to be a medical doctor, after getting your bachelor's degree, it takes about 7 to 10 years. And to be a PA, after your bachelor's degree, it takes about 2 to 3.5 years, depending on the program, and if you choose to go into residency. So something else I want to mention about the difference between PA school and medical school. Once you are in PA school, the hard work is essentially done. You just have to get good grades in your classes, make sure that you're passing everything and actually absorbing the information so that you can be the best provider that you can be. Once you get into medical school, the job is not done because now you have to work into getting into a residency program. That can add a lot of stress for the students. It's like you're back in undergrad again, like working towards a goal. Next, I'm going to talk about the duties that I've seen from PAs versus medical doctors, and this is the things that I've seen out in the field. So I'm not talking about like textbook and what we look up online, but just what I've seen, because I feel like that's a better representation. And I am also located in Florida, and I will say for physician assistants, like your scope of practice changes based on the state that you are in. Some states have a lot more autonomy and some states don't have as much. The state of Florida, I would say, has a really good balance between autonomy and working with a physician. In Florida, the physician assistants have a lot of autonomy. A lot of times during my rotations, I haven't even seen the supervising physician. They just have to be readily available either by phone call, text message, or in person. They have to be like a short drive away if they're not able to be contacted via cellular device. So the physician assistant is able to see the patient by themselves, come up with their own diagnosis and their own treatment plan for the patient. They do not have to discuss the treatment plan or the diagnosis with the provider if they feel comfortable in the decisions that they have made. If for any reason the PA is like debating between two different diagnoses or different treatment plans and wants the help of the provider, they can do so. They can reach out to the doctor that they are working with and they can ask questions and say, what do you think is best? So this is what it means to work with a supervising physician. It doesn't mean that the physician is going to be right there breathing down your neck telling you what to do. So the difference is, as a medical doctor, you do not have the supervising physician to go to if you need help. I guess this would be more of their version of residency. Like, I believe in residency, if they need help with something, they would go talk to the attending. But as the attending themselves, as the medical doctor, you do not have like that person that, you know, can help you out basically. But doctors do have colleagues as well that they can also go to for any help that they need. But yes, I just want to clarify that a supervising physician is not someone that works with you, like next to you all of the time. You get to see your own set of patients that the doctor does not see themselves. They are really there for you if you need help with anything. PAs are able to prescribe medications, come up with diagnoses, come up with a treatment plan, suturing, incision and drainages, lumbar punctures, thoracentesis, paracentesis. So these are some of the things that I've seen PAs do without the supervising physician being present. I haven't done my surgery rotation yet, so I don't want to give you guys any misleading information. The only thing I have heard about surgery is that PAs are able to first assist in surgery. So the surgeon is the one that is actually performing the procedure, but the PA is there as a first assist and is able to help, cauterize, suture as needed. When deciding to be a PA versus a doctor, I think something that comes up a lot is how the PA profession is still fairly new, so a lot of people don't even know what a PA is. So a lot of times when you introduce yourself to the patient, you have to say, hi, my name is so-and-so, I will be your physician assistant today, I'm your provider. So that's how I've seen a lot of PAs introduce themselves, because you kind of get straight to the point that I'm not the doctor, but I will be your provider. And a lot of times patients do not ask any questions and you get on with the process. If a patient does ask a question and they're like, are you the doctor? you say, no, I'm not the doctor, I'm the PA, but I will be your provider today. And a lot of times, again, they don't ask any questions because as long as you're doing your job right, like that's all that matters. At the end of the day, patient care is what matters. Next, we're gonna talk about comparing the pay between a doctor and a physician assistant. Point blank period, doctors make more money than physician assistants. If you're going into it for money though, I do believe that neither professions are for you because they both require a lot of work, and there are so many other careers that you could do where you can make the same amount of money without having to go to medical school or without having to do any medicine at all. All of the PAs that I personally know make between 100K to 170, and doctors make 200K and up. And then there are your outliers that make like 200K because they either work in dermatology, aesthetics, or like a very subspecialized surgical specialty. Another topic that comes up a lot when discussing PAs versus MDs is the ability to open up your own practice. So traditionally, MDs are the only providers that can open up their own practice, but now with the way things are moving, it seems that a lot of PAs and nurse practitioners are opening up their own like medical clinics. I haven't seen like any primary care clinics or anything like that, but I've seen a lot of med spas, weight loss clinics, right, that PAs and NPs are opening up. To open up these kind of clinics, you do need a medical director. A medical director is a MD, so you hire the MD to work as your medical director. They do not have to physically be present. Again, though, they will act as your supervising physician, so they just have to be available by phone call or text message. So I wanted to update you guys because I just came from my psych rotation, and the PA I'm working with actually opened up his own psych clinic, and he does have a medical director, which is a psychiatrist that he knows. So just to kind of give you guys more information on what I had said about PAs being able to open up their own practice, it seems that it's not just in the aesthetic specialty, but it seems that it might be in other specialties as well. So that's something to keep in mind if that is something that you are interested in. So PAs can open their own practice, but they do need to have a medical director. And I'm sure maybe this varies by state, so make sure to always check the state that you're in and what the laws are. So I gave you guys some general information about PA versus MD to help you make your choice, and now I'm going to talk about why I made my choice and the things that resonated with me that made me decide to become a physician assistant. Like I previously mentioned before, I was a pre-med student until I found out about the PA profession, and then I never looked back. So one of the main driving forces for me why I chose to be a PA is because of the amount of school that it takes to become a medical doctor. It can take up to 10 years after you've gotten your undergraduate degree to be a medical doctor. And for me, I knew that I wanted to step into financial freedom earlier in life because I have many other passions, and I feel like to be able to act on these passions, I have to have my career choice set for me. I can't still be trying to become something. And again, that's because my passions are split. They're not completely into medicine. So I felt like being a PA would be the right choice for me because I still get to provide patient care, but at the end of the day, there are a lot of other things that I am also passionate about, and that I feel like being a PA will free up my time and my finances a lot more for me to be able to indulge in these other things that I care about as well. So for me, one of these things was creating a business, and because I know that being a businesswoman is something that I'm extremely passionate about, and being a PA will give me a lot more freedom to be able to do so because of the time and the finances. Being a medical doctor, not to say that you can't own a business as well, obviously you can, but that is something that you're gonna have to take on a lot later in life. And I do feel like as a PA, this is something that you can start a lot sooner, like while you're still in your 20s, and that's something that was super important to me. I don't see myself working as a PA until I'm 50 years old. That is just not where my personal passions lie. I believe that there are other things I would like to do as well. I am going to give medicine my time and my dedication for as long as I want to, but once I decide that I want to do something else, I will have the capability to do so. And another thing that was really enticing to me as a PA is because you don't have to specialize in anything. You can bounce around into different specialties, which was another driving force for me because like I said, I'm interested in so many different things that I don't want to tie myself down to one specific specialty. I want to be able to move around after a couple years to see what is it that I actually enjoy and learn different things from different specialties to see if there's anything that I would want to do related to any of these specialties outside of being a PA. I will say both specialties are incredibly rewarding. If you were to ask me if I regret my decision, I do not at all. Again, this is because I know where I want my life to go. I know know the trajectory that I would like for myself, and I believe that being a PA will get me there with more ease. So that is why I chose to be a PA instead of being a doctor. And also because, like I said, I do have a passion for medicine, but medicine is not one of my driving forces that I really love. Like, I love it to be able to provide quality patient care and to dedicate a certain amount of time to it, but it's not something that I want to be doing when I'm like 50, 60 years old. Not to say that you cannot be a physician assistant for the rest of your life. You absolutely can. It will still be a great career choice, but again, these are my personal decisions for why I chose to go the PA route. And I really do say it all comes down to what you want for your life, what is your ultimate decisions. And PAs have a very good job outlook as well as job satisfaction. And like I mentioned before, it is a growing field. So I do think that we will be seeing the PA profession grow with many wonderful additions and a hopefully expanded scope of practice. With that being said, I hope that this video was helpful for you guys in determining if you want to go into PA school or medical school or any other profession. Remember, ultimately the decision is yours to make, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time.